HOA Karen bullied my son, didn't know his dad's a Navy SEAL with evidence and a court date. The park was supposed to be a safe haven, a place where my son, Ethan, could kick his soccer ball and laugh with friends. At 10, he was all energy and heart, his brown eyes bright with dreams of scoring goals. But that Saturday, the park became a battlefield, and Ethan was the target. Karen, the HOA president, had made it her mission to control every inch of our small community. Her sharp voice cut through the air like a blade. Her blonde hair pulled tight in a bun that matched her rigid demeanor. She wasn't just enforcing rules, she was wielding power, and Ethan was in her crosshairs. It started innocently enough. Ethan and his friends were playing near the edge of the park, their laughter echoing. Karen stormed over, her clipboard clutched like a weapon. "This area's off limits," she snapped, though no such rule existed. Ethan, ever polite, tried to explain they weren't breaking any rules. That's when Karen's tone turned venomous. "You little brat," she hissed, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You think you can disrespect me? I run this place." She loomed over him, her words slicing into his confidence. The other kids froze, and parents nearby shifted uncomfortably but said nothing. Ethan's face crumpled, his small hands trembling as he clutched his ball. I wasn't there that day. My wife, Sarah, called me in tears, relaying what Ethan had endured. My blood boiled. I'm a Navy SEAL, trained to stay calm under pressure. But hearing my son was humiliated in front of his friends ignited a fire in me. I'd faced worse threats than Karen, but this was personal. I told Sarah to keep Ethan home the next day. I needed time to think, to plan. Karen didn't know who she was dealing with, but she'd soon find out. The next morning, I reviewed the park security footage, a perk of my friendship with the town's maintenance supervisor, Mike. What I saw made my stomach churn. Karen hadn't just scolded Ethan, she'd grabbed his arm, yanked the ball from his hands, and thrown it into the bushes, all while berating him. The footage was crystal clear, time-stamped, and undeniable. Mike, a gruff but kind-hearted man who'd lost his own son years ago, watched it with me. His jaw tightened. "That woman's a bully," he muttered. "You've got her dead to rights." Mike's unexpected empathy became my first ally in this fight, a twist I hadn't anticipated. His quiet outrage fueled my resolve. I confronted Karen at the next HOA meeting, held in the community center. The room was packed, the air thick with tension. Karen sat at the front, smug as ever, her clipboard a shield. I stood, holding a USB drive with the footage. "Karen, you bullied my son," I said, my voice steady but laced with fury. Gasps rippled through the room. She scoffed, her eyes narrowing. "You're overreacting. He was breaking rules." I plugged the drive into the projector, and the room fell silent as the footage played. Karen's face drained of color as her own voice boomed through the speakers, her actions exposed for all to see. Parents murmured, some in shock, others in disgust. One mother, Lisa, stood up, her voice shaking. "She did the same to my daughter last month." The room erupted, voices piling on, revealing Karen's pattern of intimidation. Karen tried to deflect, claiming the footage was edited, but the timestamps and Mike's corroboration shut her down. I wasn't done. "You'll be hearing from my lawyer," I said. "We have a court date next month." The crowd's murmurs grew louder, and Karen's authority crumbled. She stormed out, her clipboard forgotten, her reign over the HOA effectively over. But the victory felt hollow. Ethan wasn't the same. He stopped playing soccer, his once bright eyes dulled by shame. Sarah and I tried to rebuild his confidence, but Karen's words had left scars. The court date loomed, and while we had evidence, I knew justice wouldn't erase Ethan's pain. Then came another twist. Mike, who'd been quietly supportive, revealed he'd started a petition to reform the HOA, rallying parents to demand new leadership. His initiative gave Ethan a spark of hope, showing him the community could stand up to bullies. The trial was swift. Karen's lawyer tried to spin her actions as a misunderstanding, but the footage and witness testimonies bolstered by Lisa and others sealed her fate. She was fined heavily and ordered to attend community service, her HOA presidency revoked. As we left the courthouse, I saw Karen sitting alone, her face a mask of defiance and regret. I felt no satisfaction, only a deep ache for Ethan. Weeks later, Ethan kicked his soccer ball again, tentative but smiling. Mike was there, cheering him on, a new friend who'd turned his grief into action. The park felt different now, freer. But the cost was steep. Ethan's innocence had been chipped away, and no court ruling could fully restore it. Karen's downfall was justice, but it was a bitter kind. Her actions had fractured our community, exposing how silence enables cruelty. What do you think? Where does justice begin? And how do we heal a community torn by conflict?